Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am your host, Mike Check. Excuse me, Mike Check of Mike Check Productions, your favorite ball head beat maker in the building. Man, y'all, what's going on? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. We took a little vacation, and vacation was pretty cool.
Stop the cap.
And came back with the flu or the cold or whatever that was. I don't know what that was. It's still actually draining up out of me. Started off in my head, then it moved to my chest, then it went down to the stomach, and
Okay.
TMI. We ain't gonna get too graphic, but man, let me tell you, your boy was going through it, going through it. But anyway, enough about me. Welcome to the Agree to Disagree podcast. Please make sure that you hit the like button on your way in if you find some value. You don't have to hit it right away. That's it's kind of nonsense to hit it right away before you've heard the content. But if you do find some value in the content, please hit the like button. And if you rock with the show, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell and click all. That way you're notified each time that we upload. Like I said, man, it's been a minute. Like I said, people got their own lives. I always tell you this, when I show up by myself or I show up with a guest, people got their own lives, and as they say, the show must go on.
The show must go on.
So anyway, the topic of the show is musical attention span. Musical attention span. So what do I mean by that? Well, what is meant by that? Well, first of all, we all know what an attention span is, and if we don't, we can go ahead look it up. Why not? Pull that on up. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me make that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we can see it. Cool. All right. Attention span. It says the length of time for which a person is able to concentrate mentally on a particular activity. So we're talking about musical attention span, right? I don't know how old each person is watching this. Like I said, I'm 47, and back in my prime, which would have been my 20s and teens, and in the early 90s to the mid 90s, that whole 10-year span, music was consumed differently. There was no social media. Computers were just not coming on the scene. The internet was very, very fresh. The internet was a library. It wasn't an endless scroll of nonsense. It was actually like a library. Like you would walk into the library. That's what the internet was. So the way we consume music in the 90s and in the 80s, 90s, and beyond, but I'm speaking specifically to the 90s, it was heavily influenced or heavily controlled by the radio. Everybody would try to get that radio hit, right? Because the radio stations and the program director will put your joint in the rotation, and like every hour on the hour, your joint to get played. And whether it was hot or not, it would grow on the listener. Therefore, we would keep our attention span. Other ways we would consume music, or it was packaged, it was music videos. That's how they controlled the consumption of music. So when you heard someone on the radio, you couldn't wait to see the video. You wanted to see the visual that was attached to it. So again, that was regulated, that was controlled, that was programmed. We couldn't just go see the video on our own. We had to go to BET Uncut, MTV, and any other music outlet that would play music videos. These are just the ones I'm speaking on that I'm aware of. I'm not saying that's all there was, but. And so with this method in the 90s and early 90s and 80s or whatever, it held our attention span because we were looking for that thing, that music that we loved, and when we got it, we cherished it because it was controlled, it was programmed, so to speak. Now today, the current way that music is consumed or packaged or put out or distributed, it's deregulated, meaning there's not much. You like, if you want to find something, you can find it. You can go on the internet, you can go on any music platform, what is it, Spotify, Apple Music, Samsung Music, believe it or not, YouTube Music. There's free mediums like YouTube, where you can find the music. There are no restrictions. We're not just waiting on the radio to play a hit or to play a song that we like. You can go find it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just different, you know. It's more accessible today. Like I said, it's deregulated. Now back in the 90s, they were still trying to get around that regulation by bootlegging, right? It was called bootlegging. So back in the day, there were tapes and there were CDs. And so they would burn the music on the CD or record the music on the tape and bootleg it, sell it out the trunk of their cars or sell it in the corner stores. Or if you live in New York, the bodegas, right? This is a corner store, right? That's just a cute name for corner store. And so that was a transition from regulated music to deregulated music because the record labels were trying to combat all this pirating and bootlegging. Well, it started off bootlegging, then in the 2000s it was called pirating. Am I saying that right? Because when the music moved to the internet and movies moved to DVDs and Blu-ray, there we go. They were still trying to bootleg it, but they did it a different way. It was still bootleg CDs and they were selling it. And so the music industry and the film industry were trying to combat the piracy and the bootlegging. So that's how we find ourselves now in the streaming era, where they would put the music online for you to stream, not so much for you to buy in the physical form. Even though sometimes these artists do now, they do bundles where you can get the hard copy and things of that nature. But criminals always formulate, or they always control the law or make the laws. Criminals make the laws. As they break and find their way around it, new laws come to pass. So I say all that to say, now that the music is deregulated and it's streamed and you can find it however you want to find it, YouTube, all the other music platforms that I talked about, it's like the more access you have of something, the harder it is to choose. Before, when it was regulated, controlled, or programmed, it was easier to choose because it was limited. Here's an example that I heard in the red pill conversation. I'm not saying I disagree with this, but it's still the red pill realm of conversation. They talk about how women these days, or just people in general, but more so women, with the advent of social media and Instagram, women have more access. Men do too. Men do as well, but for some reason women get the stigma. So we're going to stick with that talking point. Women have this plethora of options due to Instagram, the DM. You got what do you call those dating apps where you can swipe left or swipe right. And so with all of these options, women are not settling down with the man in their city, the best man in their city. They're holding out for so-and-so from Timbuktu to 6'8", 240 pounds of twisted steel This wanted by every woman is going to be monogamous and earns 7 figures that wants to take them to Dubai and whatever. So,
Okay.
and so since the so-called options are a plethora of them, it's hard for women to settle down and make a decision. So, with that same um, talking point or example, that's similar to music. With all of the options that we have, and we can just listen to this, listen to that, go here, go there. Our attention span speeds up, and it's hard for us to focus on one thing or one artist or stay on one song or stay on one album before we're off to the next. It's harder for music to be consumed seriously because there's an influx. There's always an overstimulation of something new. Well, my pushback on that, which I mean, I agree because you can't lie. I mean, you can't lie. You can't deny what you're seeing with your own eyes. I remember when what's his name? Lord have mercy, I'm blanking. GNX, the album GNX, Kendrick. Sorry, Kendrick. My bad. No disrespect. After Kendrick battled Drake or whatever, and that little kerfuffle, and K Dot dropped GNX. That was the biggest thing since you know what. Fill in the blank. Who's still bumping GNX? And that wasn't even a bad album. Who's still bumping GNX? Tell the truth. Don't lie. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Right? The Weeknd and Drake dropped their little, not little, no disrespect, Drake and Weeknd. Nope, no disrespect. Wrong choice of words. Drake and Weeknd dropped the combined collab album. Oh my God, so hyped up. Everybody couldn't wait. It hit for about a week or two. I'll give it a month. I don't know, because I'm not a big music head like that, so I'm not gonna sit here. I'm just gonna tell you what my ears did. It hit my ear for about a week and a half, and up next, and I'm sure you guys can name albums that dropped since then, because that was 2020, that was 2024, coming into 2025. That's what I'm talking about. But there's been albums like Lil Uzi. Was it Lil Uzi Vert? No. It was Cardi dropped. Not Cardi B. She just dropped too, and it was like, so it supposedly did so well numbers wise, but I can't tell you one song that I can even sing the chorus, let alone know the title. And that's no knock to Cardi B. But the other Cardi, he dropped, and I don't know. So anyway, my pushback to that is, I'm not so sure if it's just the overstimulation of music, because when I go on YouTube and I watch these content creators, we can all attest to this. We all got our favorite content creator, and there's tons of red pill, gender war, just toxicity on the internet, on YouTube. And I'm talking about it's oversaturated. But you still got your signature set of influencers that you make sure you, even if you're not subscribed, they come across your feed, right? Your algorithm. That's the new program. That's the new program now, algorithm. Stay with me now. Even with the oversaturation of content creators, you still have a top 5 that that will cipher, that will what's the word I'm looking for? Sift. There you go. Through your timeline, because that's just what you keep going back to see. Your attention span is not short when it comes to content creators. I can name a top 5 of my content creators that I watch.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
So my pushback to saying just because music is deregulated and it's not controlled by the radio, that shouldn't stop us from having a short musical attention span. because the music is at our hands. We should be able to pick, choose, and stick with an album and keep listening to it. But we don't. The same way we pick, choose content creators and constantly watch their videos, share their videos, right? We the sharing kings and queens. We'll share something in the DM or share something on Facebook or TikTok, or we'll share up a storm. So I don't subscribe to the fact that just because we can get our hands on music faster and there's more choices, that we can't pick, or that our attention span is too fast. I don't subscribe to that. I acknowledge that as a fact, but I will say this. That's just proof that we need to be controlled.
Okay.
The fact that we have a smorgasbord of music and artists and we can't choose, that means we need to be controlled. We need somebody to control us, to make a decision. The powers that be. Now, when I say the powers that be, I'm talking, that's like an umbrella term. The powers that be could be a financial power that be, political, musical, religious. The powers that be, those who know better and know that we need to be controlled. I'm talking about those people. Because you leave a man to his own devices, he's gonna just do something stupid. Leave a man in the kitchen long enough, he'll burn it down. So we need direction. We need to be controlled. And the powers that be know that. That's why back in the 90s, we had radio. The radio programmers, the program director programmed the top 10 or whatever and played it because he knew that our attention spans are like 2-year-olds. So you got to program the mind to say, hey, look, these are the top 10 best songs, right? Same thing with internet. As an algorithm, there's such thing as an algorithm that programs our mind, controls our mind, because again, you leave us to our own devices and we'll just scroll for days like mummies and won't retain a thing. We'll just overstimulate ourselves until it's time to put the phone down and won't remember the first 3 videos that we started watching. That's how mindless we are. It's the point I'm trying to make. We're mindless and we need to be controlled. Don't shoot the messenger. Now, when I say we need to be controlled, not all. There's always an exception. There's always somebody that's like, oh, I don't need you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the rest of the sheeple. The algorithm controls us and it tells us what to like and it suggests things to us that we might like based on the things we like over here. So the attention span is not shorter. Our attention span has always been like mush. Our attention span has always been like a 2-year-old. It's just now with the deregulation of music and its consumption and distribution, our small and short attention span is being put on display, or it's being, that's not the word I want to use. There's another word that would better encapsulate what I'm trying to say. It's being exposed. That's the word I'm looking for. Our short attention span is being exposed based on the deregulation of music and how it's consumed. Before, like I said, back in the 90s, we had the same short attention span, but we were programmed by the program directors, programmed by the TV, the music videos, making it, okay, you can only see this video BET Uncut after midnight, or you can only see this video within this time. We're programmed to pay attention. Now that veil has been lifted, now all of a sudden people saying, oh, the attention spans are shorter. The song's got to be 2 minutes. Oh, no. Attention span's been short. It's just now we got to figure out how to, what's the word? Prolong the attention span, right? That was the definition, to control, to program. How can we prolong the attention span of others? So that's my question to the audience. What are some ways that we can prolong the attention span of others when it comes to music and the musical attention span? What do you think? Is it, we can't do that. We can't put the genie back in a bottle, but do we make music only available via payment? Do we snatch all the music down from YouTube? or any other free platforms, and you can only consume it if you buy it, would that be fair? Would that be an acceptable way to I won't say lengthen the attention span, because the attention span was already, our attention spans was already short. But how do we get people, listeners, to get back focused on the music instead of being overstimulated like they would if they were scrolling TikTok or scrolling Facebook or scrolling Instagram shorts and reels? Here's one short, here's one reel. They just scroll, looking for the next hit. Literally and figuratively. I don't know. Comment below. Just give me some suggestions, because I'm not Super Saiyan. I'm not the Lord and Savior. I don't have all the answers. But I just want to put that out there, that it's not so much that our musical attention span is shorter. I just think it's just been exposed now because all of the regulation has been lifted as far as music is concerned. But as far as the internet is concerned, we are regulated. We are regulated by our algorithm. Yes, we can fight the algorithm back by searching different things to create a new algorithm, but you're still creating a new program, right? You're still being programmed. You're just creating a different program. So how can we take that same model and create a program for ourselves to get our attention span back on music, to where we're not just searching for the next hit like a dope fiend or a meth head or a crackhead? No pun intended. But leave your comments below. Like, share, please subscribe. Please click all so that you're notified each time we upload. Leave a comment down below. Give me some suggestions of how we can turn this thing around as far as musical attention span, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.